Oh, hello. Today we're going to talk about the Kill Team Ashes of Faith sort of pre-order content that's come up on Warhammer Community and elsewhere. Let's start with the fact that it's £95, and this is what I meant by elsewhere. So you can find the prices the Monday after the pre-order announcement on the retailer's website, right? £95. Now, this box contains £157.50 worth of existing kits at RRP. Apologies to people on my Discord where I've been saying it was £125 of existing kits. I forgot to add in the Dark Commune. Right, so you've got the Accursed Cultist set at £32.50, the Chaos Cultist set at £30, the Militarum Tempestus Scions kit at £27.50, the it says Prosecutor Squad, just the Five Sisters of Silence at £35, and the Dark Commune for £32.50. So that comes out at £157.50. Plus you get all the cardboard and paper that we've seen coming with this box. So that's the Orange Book, which Kill Teamers will be familiar with, which is going to contain the match play rules, we assume, for the two teams, as well as some lore. And then the Ashes of Faith campaign supplement book, or it looks like it could be a booklet. I don't know how thick it is, got no idea. And then all the decks of cards and paper and what look like sort of battle mats there to track something. Who knows? Who knows? Plus the actual kill team, the Inquisition kill team, the new models, the 7-model boxed kit of the new Inquisition team with the servitor and the little tome skull thing, and the guy who's writing his shopping list, the scribe, Lex Maniac, Lex Mechanic, the scribe guy, and then you've got the 4 multi-build guys that build 4 of 8 possible things. And all of this for £95 is like, well, things only have value if you wanted the models anyway. But even if there are elements of this that you're looking, most of this stuff you'll probably be able to sell on or give to a friend for Christmas or something like that. Because, 3 of these kits here, the Chaos kits, are all really pretty new, right? Arguably the Scions, people aren't necessarily wanting Scions now that Kazakin are out, although I said this in my Discord and somebody was like, no, I like Scions. Scions are grimdark. I want to buy Scions. So they have their fans still. I think that a selection of people who liked Scions probably have now transferred. What's the meme? Oh, friendship ended with Scions, now Kazakin are my best friends. And the Sisters of Silence, I think Sisters of Silence, the kit is a bit dated, and it was a very simplistic kit when it came out. But, if you play Talons, I think they're still, we don't really know because we're going into 40k 10th edition, but, they're still good and useful. Now, both of those things are things that have been discounted a lot in the past, right? The Sisters of Silence arguably are used to bulk up the current Custodes Combat Patrol, and the Militarum Tempestus guys have previously been in a big discount start collecting box. So, you can wax and sort of wane about the value, but £95 is so much cheaper than I was expecting it to be. I was looking at this, and I genuinely thought, well, we'll be lucky if it's as cheap as a normal Kill Team Orange box, because frankly, I don't think Games Workshop value their terrain as highly as they do their plastic miniatures. Boy, was I wrong, right? This is a great value box. Call me tabletop shill or whatever you want here, but £95. Wow. So then we have to ask the depressing question, in all things that are a balance, does this just mean that it sells out even harder? So I try and point out at the bottom there that £95 is actually the same price RRP as the Chaos guys just by themselves. Now, if you really truly just wanted the Chaos guys, you then got to weigh up, well, I can buy those things separately from Element Games and pay even less money, or I can buy them in this box for RRP and get the whole rest of the box, which I can then probably sell. If you just want the Chaos Cultists and you sell the Inquisition team on eBay, you're going to get a better value, and then than you would do just buying the Chaos guys, and then you've got the rulebook should you decide to play them in Kill Team. I think this box is actually pretty well guaranteed to tempt the Kill Team curious. as well as box splitters. Now, I say box splitters as distinct from scalpers. They are a similar creature, right? A scalper buys something to flip it for a higher price and is just a parasite. A box splitter... Oh, I'm going to get hate. A box splitter is arguably providing a service. So if Games Workshop produces a value box like this one, and then the box splitter goes, okay, I'll buy the box, and then I'll split out the contents, and then I will sell those things on eBay, such as the sum of each thing adds up to more, so I get a profit, but also usually the price per item will still be a bit cheaper than what the person would have paid going into their local Games Workshop or even from Element Games. Box splitters, yeah, they're hollowing out GW's margins a little bit and making a little bit of profit for themselves, but I suppose they are genuinely taking the risk there, that especially with a kit like, oh, are they just going to be stuck with some Sisters of Silence that they can't sell? So I get that. But if we get those crowds in on this as well, it's going to be difficult. It's going to be a difficult one. Now, I love Element Games, and I love it. I would love it if you used Element Games, the Element Games link in the description, as much as often as possible for your wargaming purchases. If you get paints, get brushes. If you get into things in preparation for 10th, if you're grabbing a combat patrol, Element Games all day long. But I can't ego conscious be like, oh yeah. And I've said this for the last 2 or 3 big Kill Team boxes. I can't even conscience be like, yeah. In fact, I think pretty well every box since Into the Gallo Dark, like the first one, they made loads. Like they always seem to make loads of the first box of a season. We just don't know how many of these they've made. So, like, if you want to take the risk and try and get the discount for yourself, then you may as well use my link, and then I can get a bit of profit if you're successful. But honestly, hand on heart, I'll be getting it from GamesWorkshop.com for the £95 RRP, and that's just the way it is. The thing is, at Fest, somebody asked the guys there at the seminar, the Kill Team seminar, like, oh, are we going to do more narrative boxes? And the basic answer was, oh, it depends how well this one sells. So, which gives me pause to think that the marketing team, because it was a seminar run by the marketing team, right? That Warhammer community, it's called a community team, but it's also a marketing team. It's slightly double speak-ish, but whatever. We'll roll with it. They seem a little unsure of how well this will sell. Look at this price; it'll sell. I think. Games Workshop's a mystery to me. I think they would have sold bananas at 150, to be perfectly fair. I think you could have priced them at 150 and they'd have sold bananas. Now, this is not me saying, oh, I wish to give Games Workshop £55. I'm glad of my £55. But I think you could have priced these at 150 and still sold them. At £95, they are a weirdly attractive value proposition. To the point where people are going to buy them who don't care, and they're just buying them because you get people who go like, oh, wow, that's a really good price on, like, purple paint, and I'll buy, like, 10 buckets, and you're like, well, you don't need any, but that's not the point. It might come in the future, and it's a good price, so you get the kind of bargain hunters as well. It's just going to be a bit of a weird one, actually trying to buy this box, potentially. Maybe they've made loads. Maybe they've made absolutely loads. Maybe they've made more than they made of Gallowfall anyway, but then again, Leviathan still hasn't come out, right? So if Gallowfall was getting a pass because, oh, well, Leviathan, well, surely Leviathan should also impact this in the same way. Especially if Games Workshop are scared of overproducing. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it genuinely won't be a very popular box, and what was driving sales, I've heard it said, oh, Bob, people really want Gallowfall because the goats are really powerful and it's all the tournament people, and I'm like, if you started watching, like, Glass Half Dead's review of what the Beastmen were like, which came up at 10 o'clock, by the time you'd finished watching it and determined, I must have those to grind tournaments with, the boxes were all gone. Now, maybe tournament players, like high-level elite tournament players, they know a guy who know a guy, and they talk to each other, and they go, oh, these are going to be really good. But... And maybe we'll find out that the Inquisition and the Chaos Cultist guys aren't really good rules-wise. I don't know. There are other dynamics at play here for sure that I'm not privy to, but I'm still scared, okay, that this is going to be a tough box to actually get. That said, on the Gallifall thing, I will say I know a lot of people have had quite a lot of luck on Saturday going to their local Warhammer store and queuing outside in those stores, getting deliveries of 4 or 5 boxes per store, potentially. So, it swings and roundabouts. So let's look at some of the media that GW put out for this set that I've kind of missed. I've been very busy this week with, I'm going to call it real life, even though that's quite so like twee and 90s, because everything is real life. The internet is real life. We use our real names on the internet. It's not a comfortable little double life sitting on an AOL Instant Messenger pretending to be someone you're not. But my work has been... so I've missed a few Warhammer community posts that could, I suppose, have been their own video. So let's do that now. So we got shown the Inquisition sprues. So I got the old laser pointer out. Now, I don't know that we learned that much from the sprues. The article itself goes through there's 4 models of which they can make. Each model can make 1 of 2 builds. And then there's 3 additional models. There's the Tome Skull, there's the Scribe Fella, and the Servitor. And the Servitor itself has 3 options: a plasma cannon, a multi-melter, and a heavy bolter. So things that I pick out from the sprue. First of all, it's really interesting that the Servitor and the Scribe are on a separate sprue. And it leads me to wonder if when the individual release of this box comes out, when it finally releases outside of Ashes of Faith, are they going to give you 2 of these sprues? Sorry, 2 of this sprue, 2 of this sprue, and 1 of this sprue, right? And that would enable you to have a team of... technically it would be 10, and then I think you get 2, because the Tome Skull is over here on this sprue. So if they did it that way, it would be 10 plus 2 Tome Skulls, which is... I don't know if they do it that way, but they do need the Inquisition team to be playable out of the box, as a thing. And we know that you need to add either the additional guard... Well, this is where there's a bit of lack of clarity, really. If you've got your 7-man Inquisition team... Okay, so you've got your 7-man Inquisition team with its Servitor and its Scribe, and then you can add 5, Scions, let's say, to it, and that's your team. But we know from the Fest seminar you can also double up on Inquisition guys, but you don't somehow get the whole lot. Do you add 4 or do you add 5, and can you run 2 Servitors, and how does that even work? We don't truly know. But there is an interesting question. All I can tell you is it's interesting the way they've laid out the box. Because certainly from a model collection point of view, and from maybe a 40k point of view, I can see how a squad of 10... Games Workshop likes squads of 10, right? So if you doubled up on the first 2 sprues, you get the sort of 4... multi-part guys twice to make 8, plus the Servitor, plus the Scribe, and then you'd have a little Tome Skull as well, which doesn't count as one of your 10, right? It's like the Arbites being 10 man plus a dog, you'd be 10 man plus a Tome Skull, technically 10 men plus 2 Tome Skulls, right? I could just about see that. The only other option they could do is to pack it in, so the 3 sprues you see here with some Scions or something, to make the team playable out of the box, which would be wildly unpopular with the people who bought Ashes of Faith and that want to pick up the rest of the bits because they don't want to proxy the other half of the Inquisition team. I'm fascinated. I'm fascinated to see the rules for these guys, and I can't wait to find out that the 2 of the Inquisition models that you always want to take in every build, even if the team is being allied with something else, like the 2 best operatives are going to be on the same torso. It's not going to be nice and neat where it's like, oh well, you want either these 4 or these 4. It's going to be like, no. You really, really want both. And I don't know. You really, really want both of the Death World Veteran and the Penal Legion. Like, oh, they're just the best models in the kit. So every Inquisition team will always want both of them. It's totally unplayable with only 1 box. Like, I hope that's not the headline, but I could see it being the headline, right? Or you really, really, really want the cool pistol guy and the cool eviscerator guy, and every Imperial team wants both of those, and there's no way you'd run them without them competitively. I can see that being the headline. I want it to be the headline, but I can see it being the headline. So we'll have to see how this one pans out on Saturday, when hopefully the men who read books on the internet will produce some content where they read the books, and then I guess I can react. Not that I've reacted to the goats or the dwarfs content yet, but we'll get there. So these are the sprue pictures. Other than that, they look like pretty standard, like mono. I don't think you're gonna have a lot of leftover parts here. I don't think they're giving you a lot of the way in optional heads. So if you go by the stock team, your Inquisitional Warband's gonna look really similar to everybody else's Inquisitional Warband. Maybe that's something that annoys you and you want to convert them a little bit. I mean, depending on how you want to cut it, there are certain things in Necromunda that you could use, and you can either do like whole style proxies, like, oh well, I need a guy with a double-handed chainsword. Well, the Redemptionists have got a guy with a double-handed chainsword. Or you could try and go down the route of like conversions, because you'll have the arms anyway, and the heads in a lot of cases that would have been on the alternate build. So I'm just kind of going off the top of my head here, for a lot of the models, like Dilax, have the same kind of long, kind of trench coat robes things going on. Maybe that would be a good shout, or I don't know. But maybe you can actually physically kit bash things with some of the spare bits that you have as well. That would seem like it was an option, perhaps. We'll have to see. We'll see on Saturday what the rules for team selections. A really popular piece of information, I think. Mutations. So the Chaos guys, in the absence of getting any models, because they haven't got new models to show off, they got a whole pile of rules, which we'll try and have a proper kind of dig through those rules now, right? So you can mutate friendly operatives as follows. In the strategy phase, when it's your turn to use strategic ploy or pass, you can instead mutate a number of friendly Chaos Cult operatives equal to the turning point number at the end of the combat in which a friendly devotee operative inflicted damage and was not incapacitated, and when a friendly cult demagogue operative performs the accursed benediction action. So that first bullet point is quite interesting, because it means in turn 1 you can evolve a regular guy into this mid-phase elephant man here, right? And then if you do nothing else, I don't know how, if you do nothing else, that means that in turn 2 you can mutate your middle evolution, if he's still alive, into a final form, and your initial fella evolves into a middle evolution, right? Because you can then do 2, and you can spend one of the, or you can have 3 middle guys, right? So that gives you an idea of how you'll be able to ramp up, because I'm sure these models are amazing, right, rules-wise, okay? You also have this idea of whenever a devotee inflicted damage and was not incapacitated, but notice this is a devotee, so that's only applicable, this middle bullet point is only applicable for going from this one to this one, okay? And then the cult demagogue performs the accursed benediction action, so that'll be one of your leader guys that doesn't mutate from the what are they called? The leader guys with the hoods and stuff. He'll probably have some kind of option to spend an action point to make somebody mutate, which is quite cool as well. We've got some interesting text here. So good news. Once the power of mutation takes hold, a selection of 6 accursed gifts are yours to choose from. So these are the accursed gifts, or 3 of the accursed gifts. Takes the skies as a leather-winged cryptid, sprout fetching barbed perturbances, or protect your newly twisted body with a layer of chitinous armour. So they've given us 3 of these things. The sky's the limit, and we're assured there are no soul-damning drawbacks in the process. Fine. The mutations you choose will be shared by the rest of your kill teams. You'll never feel lonely in your new form. So does that mean that when you mutate your first guy, which you can do on turn 1, right, because you can mutate a guy in turn 1, you can give your entire team, so realistically you just say, my entire team is winged. Is that what it means? Surely not. Or does it mean just all the other mutants will have winged, and then they stack? So you don't go, this is a winged mutant, this is a chitinous mutant, this is a barbed mutant. You go, this is my first mutant fella, so he has all mutants from now on have wings, and I've got my second mutant fella, so all mutants from now on have chitinous. Is that how it works? And when we talk about mutation, the power of mutation taking hold, are we saying every time we get this middle evolution, or is it just every time we get this big, nasty many-limbed evolution. Like, what's actually happening here? Really unclear, as you'd expect from a marketing article. It's here to generate exactly the discussion and hype that it's generated. We've got a view here about the hideous mutations. I don't know again. I think these probably must be from the end guy, but it's 5 dice hitting off force, 4/5 damage, relentless and unending. A pretty strong attack, all told. Again, there's not really enough context here to make any meaningful comment. And then we've got a tactical ploy and a strategic ploy. So strategic ploy here, sickening aura. While an enemy operative is within circle of a friendly mutant, torment, or dark commune operative, worsen the ballistic skill and weapons and characteristics of that enemy operative's weapons by 1. This is not cumulative with being injured. So for 1 CP, while the enemy gets within circle of you, the worse weapons completely. That could be really good if you're playing against a team that desperate. Well, I suppose you want to get within circle of them, don't you? So, yeah, you'd have to weigh up whether that's going to make a difference or not, depending on your opponent. I think it doesn't strike me as really, really powerful. It doesn't strike me as really, really pointless. It strikes me as a sometimes food, which I suppose is working as intended, right? And then for 1 CP, Unleash the Demon. Use this tactical ploy on a friendly mutant or torment operative's activation. You can perform a free fight action during the activation. It can perform 2 fight actions during the activation, so you get to fight again. That's pretty cool. 1 CP, I'll just fight again. We'll just have another fight. Yeah, why not? You're a combat team. Why not? Right, that's really it. That's it. Only a short one, but I just wanted to recap all that detail and tell you about the £95 price tag, which is... Let me know in the comments what your thoughts are. Are you going to try and pick this up? I'm definitely trying to pick this up. Anybody? I want to hear from anybody who was like, "Oh, I'm not sure I want it," and now they've gone, "What? It's 95 quid." Now they definitely want it. And how apprehensive are you about being able to buy it? Let me know all that stuff. Apologies for the lack of content over the weekend. And the tail end of last week, I'd hoped to get more stuff out, but became kind of snowed under with work. I've kind of gotten past that work deadline now of getting loads of stuff marked and put on to the system for the GCSEs. That's done, so we should have some more free time after work and at the weekends and stuff, which is good. I've had some computer issues as well. I've had to replace my monitor, my main monitor on my PC, which means my camera is in a slightly different place, which might be why you can see more of the shot above here, because I'm not I've just got a dinky little webcam thing on top of a monitor. That's how we roll. There will be the hobby stream tomorrow, right? So you can look forward to that. I'm still just haven't done any work on this off stream because I've been totally preoccupied with life. So you can watch me struggle away with this thing for some more hours. But we can chat about Ashes of Faith or anything else that's come up. And then I will try and do the goat and dwarf. I'm not going to honour them by calling them with their lore-appropriate names. I'm going to try and talk about the Goat and Dwarf teams at some point this week. Maybe I'll do another video on Wednesday. Maybe I'll just try and make up for my previous lack of videos by going video. Maybe that's what we're going to do. Because if I don't get Goats and Dwarves done, and then on Saturday we're going to get the rules for Inquisition and Chaos, and they're going to need talking about as well. So it's like there's so much for Kill Team at the moment. There's so much Kill Team. And I've seen people complaining oh, well, there's not putting any rules in White Dwarf, and oh, they're not doing this, and oh, they're not doing that, and I'm like, wait. I think we will get, it's inevitable, we will get a content slowdown once 10th is launched, right? But this is a content, this is the pre slowdown, here's loads of stuff to tide you over, here's loads of stuff to tidy you over, here's loads of rules, off you go. It's a really exciting time to be playing Kill Team, isn't it? Shouldn't we be optimistic? Shouldn't we? I don't know. Let's have a look down in the comments and see what everyone else thinks. If you like the content, please subscribe. It will be great to get more and more subscribers on the channel. That's the number one aim, is to up that subscriber count. And then everything else is also cool. Like the video, comment, consider becoming a member. If you click the join button, I think it's over there. Down there somewhere. It'll play another extra video. That video's really quiet. I need to re-record it, really. Maybe I'll re-record it and I'll be able to say to people, hey, if you click the join button, there's even a new secret video. All right, so have a great rest of your day. Cheery bye. Bye-bye. Bye.